Hi, this is Graham Jeacocke. Now, I wanted to do a contrast here. Now, what it is, well, many atheists say to Christians, eh, you can't handle the reality of life because you need God to to feel comfortable. Okay. Now, I wanted to illustrate something like a bit like instant karma. Okay, let's take sports. Now, I caught the end of a Cameron Norrie match. He's a British tennis player, and he's won. But it was at the end where all the tennis players were discussing the match, and this was in Amazon Prime. Now, they said that Cameron Norrie has won 44 matches this year, and that has equalled Djokovic, the Serbian tennis player, who's currently ranked number one. But they never really discussed that. But I was a bit dubious because I know from looking at the ATP tour, each player has entered into a certain number of tournaments. Now, Djokovic, I think he's only entered 16 tournaments this year, okay? Whereas Cameron Norrie has entered over 36 tournaments. So, the point I was trying to make so if you look at the start, okay, at the beginning of the year, okay, let's take Djokovic, okay? Djokovic, how many matches did it take for Djokovic to get 10 wins? Well, if you go into the activity, you'll find he won the first 10 matches with no losses. But if you jump to Cameron Norrie, there's a mixture. In fact, at the beginning of the year, it's taken 15 matches to get 10 wins. So, Djokovic is much more efficient. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Cameron Norrie. A match is a match, and you're you're playing against yourself as an athlete. That's fantastic what he's doing this year. Now, the reason why I wanted to be so negative was I was trying to illustrate a point. Let's assume, okay, we'll make an assumption, okay. I don't know the beliefs or values of Cameron Norrie, but let's just say he's an atheist, okay? I don't mean to upset anyone, but let's ask, well, not let's put Cameron Norrie on the spot. As an athlete, okay, does he want the truth? Does he want to face the reality? Because it seems quite impressive if you say Cameron Norrie has equalled Djokovic in a number of wins. Now, there is positive and negative understanding of how you can interpret what you get from it. But I wanted to use the sport film Rocky, you know, Sylvester Stallone. Now, it's kind of along similar lines. Now, Rocky 3, where he's fighting Mr. T from the A-Team. Now, as you know, what happens in the original Rocky was here was an unknown fighter, and he got an opportunity to step into the boxing ring of a professional match and take on a world-class boxing champ. And at the end of the first film, well, we know what happened. But the subsequent sequels of that film, okay, and the one in question is Rocky 3, you see clips of him in fights, gathering a recognition, money, all this kind of stuff when you make it as an athlete or a boxer. But here we have, is it Clubber Lang? I think that's Mr. T's name in Rocky. He was in the crowd watching these matches, and he was disgusted with what was going on because these weren't great opponents, and he knew it. And he wanted to tell Rocky he really shouldn't be calling himself a champ. But here's the interesting thing. Rocky's coach. Now, Rocky had a discussion with his coach saying, I feel that I'm not the fighter that I thought I was. And the coach's reply, I paraphrase somewhat, I was only trying to protect you, kid. Now, we can apply this to Cameron Norrie. Now, at the end of the Cameron Norrie match, he was being interviewed on Amazon Prime, and the interviewer said, do you know that you've equaled Djokovic's number of wins? But he never wanted to say anything on that. But here's the thing. Would his coach, right, if Cameron is an atheist, okay, would he want to know the truth of how efficient he was as a tennis player? Or does he want to go down the route of what happened in Rocky, where Rocky's coach set up matches that were not in the same league as a boxer with that kind of title? He's a heavyweight, and he won against a champion. They were set up fights, not really illegitimate. But would Cameron Norrie accept the truth behind this equaling 44 wins, or would he prefer to be in the dark and say, oh well, I've equaled 44, that's something positive, however inaccurate or misleading it could be, because having that little bit of deception, not deception, what is it? Motivation is a curious thing. You can hold on to things to motivate you, but you know they're not really there. It's like a comfort blanket, but it can be pretty strong in situations. So that was it. It's kind of I don't mean any offence to Cameron Norrie. What he's achieved is brilliant. But I like to get in depth. But anyway, that's it. All for now.